here is what I did. I actually wrote to Anupam Mittal saying that, hey, you know, if you hire me, I would do 1, 2, 3. So don't tell me what I wrote over there. But something happened, right? And he called me for an interview. I remember somebody who called up the CRM representative and was asking, ye kaise fill karna hai? And pure Hindi conversation was going on. And then he asked a very beautiful and naive question that she said, our CRM expert said, आप ये fill कर लेंगे तो you know, you'll be able to find, आपको मिल जाएगी. मुझे मनचाही लड़की मिल जाएगी. And I can't tell you, it was so naive and it was so cute.
Without any further ado, can I request Shaonie to take over the stage?
Ankit, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am a big fan of the work that you're doing, and I'm honored to be here in front of all of you today. Looking forward to interacting. See, I know this is almost the last session, so I want to make sure that you guys are here and paying attention. If you say yes, this is okay, then there's something seriously wrong. So let's jump into this. I'm Shaonie Maitrra. The places that you see on the screen are just a couple of places that I've grown up across. And with work, I was able to worked a bit in the United States, obviously in India, and in Dubai now. And rest of the places are the places where I've done my schooling, whether it's Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta. And from my childhood itself, there was this one thing that became very clear, that we need to embrace diversity, culture, language. And the more flexibility you show towards it, the easier your journey becomes. So I did my engineering. I'm an electronics engineer. And right after engineering, like, you know, the campus recruitments happen, you get a TCS, you get a Mindtree. And I would say, an above average kind of a student who would be an all-rounder, but I was not acing all the subjects. But I managed to get into Capgemini, and I was doing SAP consulting. While I was doing my stint at Capgemini, I kind of realized that this is not something I would want to continue with for a very long time, because clearly coding was not my calling. And my family, my father has been an inspiration who's been in healthcare all his life. And I somehow felt that, okay, fine, you know, why not give it a try? But how do I step into it? Maybe I should get an MBA. And I was not lucky like you guys. I've gone through your profiles, brilliant profiles, like, you know, you've cracked some of the best schools in India. I sat down for CAT, I sat down for ZAT. I was not even in the 80th percentile. So I started applying to other places, which is, you know, through GMAT. I'm not saying that, you know, GMAT is the easiest one to crack, but all I'm saying is there are other avenues. And I think we should all keep exploring which one really works out is something that destiny will tell. I wrote GMAT, and I got a scholarship with a school called Thunderbird School of Global Management, which is in Arizona. And that's how, you know, my journey kind of started in the management world. So right after my MBA, I was recruited by Johnson & Johnson into a program called International Recruitment Development Program. So, and this is just like other leadership programs that you have heard of from other companies. You know, you get to work in different functions, so to say. This is specifically, you know, because this is more on the marketing and sales side, the rotation was mostly in commercial side, and then you get to work in 2 different countries. So I was able to work with Johnson & Johnson in California and also in India. As I was working with Johnson & Johnson, I first started with in the marketing role, then I moved to sales, had an opportunity to jump into Medtronic, where I worked as a product manager. In the same Medtronic, in the same company, I was able to also move horizontally. Now, this is another learning I had. So when we talk about growing, you know, it is always growing vertically upwards. But trust me, when you get an opportunity to move horizontally, you're not taking a step down. The experience that you get by just jumping a function it will really strengthen your foundation about the business that you're in. Until about 2015, I was doing healthcare marketing, from 11 to 15. And suddenly I realized that I'm getting too comfortable. So the fear of missing out was so much, it was getting stronger and stronger to an extent that I thought that I'll get extinct. Why? Because I had no idea of digital marketing. I had no idea what it was. I also did a course from Illinois University, which was a digital marketing specialization course. I thought I'll become a guru overnight. Did not happen. So then I started thinking that I really have to get into a job which would give me the taste of digital marketing. I can get my hands dirty. But the question is, why would anyone take a bet on you, right? 4 years, you're doing healthcare marketing. Suddenly you get up and say, oh, I want to do consumer. And that too, I want to do digital marketing. It's so difficult to take a bet. I mean, if you are running a business, you would want to get someone who has the experience. But then there comes the point where you show that you have the grit, you have the will to actually change, and you show the flexibility. Here is what I did. I actually wrote to Anupam Mittal saying that, hey, if you hire me, I would do 1, 2, 3. So don't tell me what I wrote over there. But something happened, right? And he called me for an interview. He told me this is what the role is going to be like, and this is going to be the salary. And I actually took a pay cut just to get there, because all I wanted was to get my hands dirty and know what digital marketing is. So there I was. I jumped into it. With open arms, I was like, yes, I got it. And it was an amazing learning experience, but not an easy one. And then came a startup experience. So Cheluk Pharmaceutical, this was something that my father had launched, and he was a pharma veteran. He still is a pharma veteran. And I also thought maybe I can get my hands dirty in the startup venture and get some knowledge about pharmaceutical, because I never had it. So while I was working with him for about 4 months, I jumped ship from ShaadiCom to Cheluk Pharma. J&J had still kept in touch with me, and J&J reached out to me with another opportunity to get back into the business in orthopedics field. So that's how I joined back Johnson & Johnson as the marketing manager in India. I started working in 2017 and came here in 2019, taking care of the whole portfolio. So right now what I do is I take care about 8,000 SKUs or more for 15 different countries. I'll pause here for a moment. I'll see if there are any questions so far.
I'm just curious to know how digital marketing works for joints reconstruction, because I've never seen an ad of a joint reconstruction product.
Consumer marketing in India is not allowed. Even in Middle East, it's not allowed, because we are not allowed to reach our patients directly, so we cannot. So our marketing is completely to do with surgeons. So we do B2B marketing. Our digital would be, let's say, in mails to surgeon on LinkedIn, or and if you have to do anything on social media platform, it will be definitely on disease awareness, because I am not legally allowed to talk about product. I cannot bend your decisions or make your decisions for you. You need to rely on the doctors for the decisions. And that's where it kind of, you don't see us often. But if you really are curious about joints, then you can find the page on Facebook. I just want to add that healthcare per se is something where, we are talking to patients, and it's, at the end of the day, it's not a happy feeling. They have a problem, right? So they're not looking for you. So if you're going to make an app and put it on the app store thinking, oh, mera to bahut download ho jayega. But that's not going to happen.
So, Shaonie, one question I have is on Shaadi.com.
Yeah.
I think 2015 when you were working there, I think, how was the landscape in India in terms of people believing that they can find partners online? What were the early days like of people knowing about the brand, and then how did you measure success? Was it connected to transactions? Was it connected to registration? How did that work?
Back then in 2015, we kind of understood that a lot of people who are on the platform, so there was this baggage. We realized that people don't want to own it up that they are on the platform. It is always like, my father has made a profile or my parents have made a profile and things like that. So nobody really wants to own up, and we did not have a lot of success stories, and that was the challenge back then. And also what we understood is that through the VOCs is that people meet in the circle, like either your friend circle or you're meeting your partners in a B school or in engineering college. And if you've not been able to meet your partner, then you are the rejected, or you're the last sort of, the mentality or the thinking then was, I'm left out and I don't want to go and tell people that I am left out, and hence I'm on Shaadi.com. And we wanted to kind of change that. So complete rejig of the brand persona was done. Even the voice with which Shaadi.com used to have its emails and everything was changed to give it a more upbeat look, so to say. Ankit, having said that, I still remember a call from the CRM when I joined, and I was listening to the recordings. It's amazing that even tier 1 cities, and I don't remember whether it was tier 2 or tier 1, mostly it was tier 1, that they were registering, and they were so hopeful, and they used to ask very naive questions. I remember somebody who called up the CRM representative and was asking, ye kaise fill karna hai, and pure Hindi conversation was going on. And then he asked a very beautiful and naive question that she said, our CRM expert said, आप ये fill कर लेंगे तो you'll be able to find, आपको मिल जाएगी, मुझे मन चाही लड़की मिल जाएगी. And I can't tell you where it was so naive, and it was so cute, like that we are penetrating into that city and into the region that internet was not there, and they're also wanting to meet people. So it's a beautiful feeling at the end of the day when two people are meeting together.
Dating apps also started coming in around that time, Tinder and Bumble and stuff. So did it affect Shaadi business? Because people who were using that, eventually they would end up also, although it was supposed to be a hookup app in India, people used to use it to find soulmates and partners.
I don't think so, Ankit, because, or maybe it's the same sort of people who had registered everywhere. Our true competition was Jeevan Sathi and Bharat Matrimony, but I'm talking about back in 2015. But all the other dating platforms, honestly, people on Shaadi.com are also not like registering and getting married the next day. They would also, I would imagine, date and then kind of decide. But we never really saw a huge dent or a dip as such. But our true competition was definitely Matrimony and Jeevan Sathi, and that too, it was regional. Like different regions had different preferences. Okay, so I'm going to jump to 3 takeaways if there are no questions on the career map. That has kind of helped me. So one thing is you can create your own path clearly. So you don't really need to tell, and nobody will come and tell you that you need to follow this path, right? If you want to pursue something, go ahead and pursue. But for that, you need 3 things. So you need grit, because it's going to be hard, right? You can't, when you're jumping from one place to another, and if you've not done it before and you're meeting you will see a lot of rejects. So don't get bogged down. Have the grit, have the confidence in your ability. And when I say ability is the knowledge, right? If you don't have the knowledge, like I think Santosh also touched upon it, you need the knowledge to be able to jump, or the readiness that he talked about, to be able to jump from one ship to the other ship. So that's my first takeaway. The second one is ask questions, right? The first 6 months or the first 1 year, play the new card. I'm new, I don't know, right? Learn and ask dumb questions, right? The next thing is take feedback constructively. And this, I'll be honest, I learned it. It took me a lot of time to understand this. Sometimes we get very defensive. We think it's personal and we start hating our managers. That's not the point. Maybe I'm not saying that you fall in love with your manager. It is kind of hard. But not all managers will have a hidden personal agenda. They really want to help you and take the good out of the conversation that is coming out and keep it very objective. Really reflect back on it. Maybe if you're not able to kind of reflect on it at that point in time, take it, go back, sleep over it, think about it, and see if you can work and improve on that. So I think those are the 3 things I'm going to leave you with.